Hey Leo, happy new year and hope you guys are doing great. We are here to do your 2022 forecast with bones and charms this time, something a little bit different. So, we're going to take a peek and see what comes out as the areas that you may need to focus a little bit more in 2022 and what might be headed towards you. So, let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so it's interesting. The one bone that got left behind, I don't know if you guys can see this, but we have a rib bone that typically signifies restrictions and not really being able to move or operate the way that you want to. So perhaps that is something that you are leaving behind in 2021. But let's see what you should look for throughout the next year. All right, so lots and lots and lots going on for you. Let's start here. We have the little worry doll that represents you. It looks as though there is something that right now is making you feel a little bit stuck, a little bit trapped, that something sort of has a little bit of a hold on you and it's not allowing you to grow. What it feels like also is that we have the button here that is a connector, right? So we have these two sort of sections for you. So we have this feeling here with you, feeling a little bit restricted, feeling a little bit trapped, feeling as though you don't have everything that you need. We have it over here with protection, family, another protection, and then we also have stop. And we have this deer tooth or this deer toe here that signifies stability. So it feels as though even though things may be a little bit slow for you right now, Leo, that by the winter time, there's going to be an ending to something that is keeping you from being sort of your best self. You're on the right path, I think, in terms of grounding yourself, in terms of finding your direction, in terms of sort of beginning to explore. This is the charm that indicates travel. And I think that, typically it's sort of like a physical, it's meant to be taken a little bit literally. But I think in your case that this is more about you exploring options and what the world has to offer. And so you're coming out of this place of being unstuck. You're changing the way that you do things. And this might be spurred on by family or people who you sort of consider to be your family. So this is something that looks positive for you. It looks as though you're starting to pull yourself out of some stagnant energy. Now, looking over here at our starter piece, the Moldavite, we have quite a few things that are going on for you right now. So this section right here, with the chicken bone and the buckeye nut and the spirit guides, there's some cleaning up that you need to do health-wise. What I'm feeling right now is that for you, things may not be at DEFCON 1, but it feels like there need to be some changes. So it's like if you're pre-diabetic, right, then you're like right on the edge of going into full-blown diabetes. And it's like, well, maybe start eating healthier or working out, losing weight, whatever it is that you need to do. But it feels like there's an opportunity now to sort of intervene with whatever's happening with your health before it gets too far down the road. So see your doctor, talk to your healthcare provider, get a checkup, all of that good stuff. If you've been meaning to work out, this is a time to start doing it. So yeah, just Leos, keep an eye on that, okay? So what we also have for you that looks like it might be happening sometime in the fall. There's a lot happening here. So let's sort of take it from the top. So there feels like when it comes to, I think, what you do for work, what it is that you sort of do to sustain yourself, I don't know that it's necessarily been fulfilling, either financially, emotionally, mentally, all of that good stuff. And it feels as though, I think you're within, the next year, I think, especially headed into the fall, that you are going to be, I think, more open to opportunities. But I do feel as though you are being very cautious and very considerate, very thoughtful about any opportunities that come your way. It feels as though you're going to be looking for something that's a very good fit for you. You don't want to kind of be frivolous and jumping from one place to another, or one opportunity to another. I do feel like there is going to be something that's coming in, and I feel like this has to do with your career or your place of work, where things get a little bit shaky, where you're kind of like, which direction do I go in? What happens here? But what it feels like is there's going to be some communication, and it's going to be a bit of a lucky break for you. It feels as though there's going to be good fortune that's coming in for you around the fall. So make sure that you keep your eyes open. It's going to be some form of good communication, whether it's chatting with someone else, getting an email from a recruiter or an old friend. But as you start sort of branching out and exploring these opportunities that are coming towards you, make sure that you keep an ear out and you keep an eye out for this communication that's coming in, because with the 4-leaf clover inside of the wishbone, like, it feels like something very positive is going to come out of that. So, all right, moving on over to the next cluster that we have up here for you. Around the springtime, things are going to be, they're going to be relatively stable. I think this new opportunity is not going to be coming in until the fall. So things will be a little bit quiet during the spring. So this is a time for you to just sort of keep moving ahead. There's nothing dramatic that you need to change. There's nothing crazy that you need to do. So looking over here, there's a bit of a caution when it comes to your big finances, the looking at big investments sort of long term. Now, this may be coming from someone that you consider a friend, or someone that's sort of that you think is close to you. They may be giving you bad advice or trying to lock you into a bad long-term financial deal. So keep your eye out for that person. It doesn't seem as though they have the best of intentions, and you don't want to get scammed. What I do see also here, though, is the fish hook that's sort of pointing out, and that signifies that you're not going to be sort of on the hook for anything. You're not going to be bound. So I think that you're going to be able to identify this, quote, opportunity as not so much of an opportunity. And that's what we saw over here, being very thoughtful, being very discerning about what it is that you want to do next in life, the opportunity that you're looking for. So, I do feel like you'll be able to spot this as sort of a false opportunity. Now, looking at this section that we have right here, this one is super, super interesting, because there are a lot of good things happening here. We have the deer slice, which is representative of home and hearth. This is your household, your home life. And within this cluster, we have an inside and, an internal journey. We have the bone that represents family. We have the key for opportunity and unlocking new things, friendship, cat's eye, alligator claw that signifies luck. And we also have the clothespin that's like hanging on. And we have the charm for love. So Leo, it looks like when it comes to your home life, if you are not currently in a relationship, there looks like the opportunity may be coming towards you for someone who is very, very captivating, someone who can easily become your family. And so there might be an element of your friends being involved in this situation. I'm almost getting a sense of someone having friends who can see so perfectly that they are a good match for someone else. And maybe they sort of orchestrate things into happening. But it feels like there's a strong element of seeing things clearly where your friends are involved here. And it's all sort of coming around to this partnership, to this internal journey, to this building of family. It's almost as if fate has intervened on whatever this is. So one thing that I also want to point out right here, we have this teeny tiny little skull that's representative of your ancestors. This skull is looking directly at the friends. So there's something that the ancestors are smiling down on. So build those relationships with your friends, dig in deep, because if you're single, they might hold the key to you meeting your person, the one who's going to become your family. Now, looking at this last little cluster right here, there is, I feel like, a calling for you. There's going to be a bit of a transformation that you undergo. Not necessarily a bad thing, but I do think that it's going to be a little bit different for the people who are in your life and who are sort of accustomed to dealing with you in one certain way. So what it feels like is that you are sort of tapping into almost your alter ego, right? Where you are sort of just now embracing life. Like everything is good, everything is wonderful. I've navigated, through life. I'm in a comfortable place. I'm in a thoughtful place. Like life is good. But, I want to make sure that I get what I want out of life. So it feels like over the summer, after we've had this sort of quiet time in the spring, and while you're in your place of introspection and being thoughtful, it feels as though you're enjoying life and you're sort of almost embracing a new persona where you are so much more confident. You are so much more self-assured that you are sort of tapping into your, and again, this is not gender specific. This is all about energy, but tapping into that almost femme fatale mode. And like on the guy side, it's almost like tapping into that James Bond energy. He's still cool, right? Or am I real old? Because James Bond, all right. It's like tapping into that James Bond energy where you're just smooth and you're self-assured. It feels as though that's sort of the transition that you're making. Not a bad thing, because again, with the badger tooth that we have right here also, this is you sort of letting go of people's preconceived notions about you. This is you sort of letting go of things that do not serve you and not particularly being apologetic about it. So expect that transition to happen in the summertime. And it's probably going to last over the next several months, the next 4 months or so, which is interesting because that coincides with this sort of fall period where this offer comes in for you. After a period of quiet, and then after a period of sort of thinking and a little bit of confusion and feeling stuck, is when this offer is going to come to you. And there's going to be a resolution by winter. And I do feel, again, that this has very much to do with your work life. So, Leo, I'm going to leave it there for you. I hope that you enjoyed this reading. If you did, let me know. But in the meanwhile, stay safe, stay healthy, and I am sending you all huge hugs.